Federal government squarely addressing socio-economic challenges of the nation, Vice President Shatima assures.
We have to secure the lives and properties of the citizenry, which is the very essence of the existence of government.
Auditor General of the Federation undertakes forensic audits of trillions of advances from CBN to the federal government.
We also realize that these monies were not really used for the purposes of which they were earmarked. That's why, but we also have independent sources of getting information.
Ministries of Information and Sports to collaborate and revive sports for national development.
Sports can be used as a vehicle of returning this country to where the founding fathers left it for us.
And on Good Morning Nigeria today, we shall focus on empowering autistic persons.
Autism spectrum disorder, ASD, is a neurodevelopmental condition characterized by challenges in social interaction, communication, and repetitive behaviors. It's called a spectrum because symptoms can vary widely from person to person, ranging from mild to severe.
That's right, Victor. People with ASD may have different strengths and abilities, with some showing exceptional skills in areas like music, mathematics, or art. Early intervention and support can significantly improve outcomes for individuals with ASD, helping them lead fulfilling lives.
Indeed, it is estimated that about 1 in 100 children worldwide has autism. Now, this estimate represents an average figure, and reported prevalence varies substantially across studies. Some well-controlled studies have, however, reported figures that are substantially higher. Now, the prevalence of autism in many low and middle-income countries is unknown.
Yeah, and in a school-based epidemiological study conducted among mainstream elementary and secondary schools in southeastern Nigeria, prevalence of autism spectrum disorder was found to be 2.9% among children between the ages of 3 and 18 years.
That study also found that autism tends to run in families because of genetics and risk factors such as environmental factors, prenatal exposure to certain chemicals, maternal infection during pregnancy, and air pollution.
And that's not all. There are also abnormalities as a result of brain development in brain structure and function, particularly in areas responsible for social interaction and communication.
And this explains, Yenre, why April every year is dedicated to autism awareness, typically aimed at increasing understanding and acceptance of autism spectrum disorder. While specific themes may vary each year, the overarching goal is often to promote inclusivity, support, and advocacy for individuals on the autism spectrum and their families. Now, the theme for this year, Empowering Autistic Voices, is another attempt at raising awareness, promoting acceptance, and fostering a more inclusive society for people with autism.
And also, treatment of autism depends on the person's needs and situations, with the goal of reducing symptoms and improving learning and development. Treatments can include different kinds of therapies to improve speech and behavior, and sometimes medications to help manage any medical conditions related to autism. Others are early intervention programs focusing on social interaction, communication, and behavior. Behavioral therapies, applied behavior analysis, positive behavior support, and more.
So, what are the latest developments in autism research, advocacy, and support? What should families that have children with autism do, and what should they not do? How do we break down stigma and shed light on the experiences and strengths of autistic individuals who are an integral part of our diverse and vibrant communities. Well, these and other issues we shall discuss as we focus on empowering autistic persons. Welcome to the program. I am Victor Azu.
I'm Henry John. I join my colleague Victor to welcome you to the program. We're reaching you live on the network service of the NTA, and we urge you to leave it locked because it's a loaded package. We've got a complimentary segment talking about news, paper review, and of course Chukwudi Okolo-Gbaja will be with us. But for now, let's find out what's in the news. Musa Abubakar is here. Musa, good morning to you.
Good morning, Harry and Victor. Here's the morning news. That the federal government is on course in squarely addressing the socio-economic challenges of the nation. Vice President Kashim Shettima stated this at the second roundtable meeting of the 21st Century Chronicle with the theme, Tinubu Administration's Economic and Social Agenda, How It Will Transform Nigeria.
We have to make education work. We have to generate power. We have to secure the lives and properties of the citizenry, which is the very essence of the existence of government.
Meanwhile, the United Nations is set for more collaboration with Nigeria to ensure success of the Sustainable Development Goals. UN resident and humanitarian coordinator in Nigeria, Mohammed IV, extended the partnership when he led a delegation from the UN system in Nigeria on a courtesy visit to Vice President Kashim Shettima at the presidential villa.
We want to help the government to unify and to step up the social protection scheme, the safety net, so that we mitigate the impact of those reforms on the most vulnerable.
The Office of the Auditor General of the Federation is undertaking a forensic audit of trillions of naira of advances to the federal government by the Central Bank of Nigeria to ascertain what the monies were expended on. The Auditor General of the Federation, Mr. Shaka Chira, made the submission before the Senate Ad Hoc Committee investigating Ways and Means. The committee seeks answers on whether laid down procedures were adhered to for granting the approvals.
Has subjected this country to a very serious problem in terms of inflation. That, we also realize that these monies were not really used for the purposes for which they were earmarked. That's why, but we also have independent sources of getting information.
It is clearly established that every procedure for the units and units are violated. That is established.
The Nigeria Governors Forum has pledged to sustain negotiations and leverage available fiscal infrastructure in improving workers' welfare. These form major resolutions of the forum at the end of its virtual monthly meeting held on Wednesday, the 1st of May 2024.
Security remains top on our agenda. During our last meeting, we reaffirmed our willingness to work with the federal government in order to provide lasting solutions to the security challenges bedeviling our nation.
And now to Labour matters, the Nigeria Labour Congress says its demand for 615,000 minimum wage is a product of a painstaking effort through which it captured the cost of living of Nigerian workers and masses in all parts of the country. Statement by the president of the NLC, Joe Ajero, explains that the research was based on a family with both parents alive and 4 children without the burden of having other dependents with them. He noted that questionnaires were designed and sent to all the state councils of NLC and TUC, from where these questionnaires were sent to NLC and TUC members in all the local government areas in the country to gather the monthly cost of living for the average family. Part of the strategy of the federal government is to develop and strengthen partnership among ministries in order to promote national integration. At an engagement, the Ministries of Information and National Orientation and that of Sports Development have agreed to work together to revive the glory of sports as an avenue for national development.
Sports cannot wait in this country. We need it not just for the economic development of this country, but for the unity, for the togetherness, for the sense of patriotism that all of us need to have for our country.
Well, those are the highlights of the news at this time. Good Morning Nigeria continues with Victor and Ehiri after the commercial break. Please don't go away.